This program shows real direct support professionals serving real people with developmental disabilities in a variety of settings, offering you a chance to learn about the work involved in direct support and judge for yourself if you're interested in pursuing a career in supporting people with developmental disabilities. It's important to know the realities about direct support work prior to employment because it increases chances that you'll select a job that you'll do well and enjoy. Direct support professionals play many roles. They work as companions, advisors, counselors, chauffeurs, cooks, teachers, and assistants, to name a few. Many people find direct support work stimulating, challenging, and fulfilling. Others do not. There's no right or wrong decision, only what is a good fit for you.
I pretty much take care of 4 ladies who live here in the house. I help them in all their personal needs, like cooking, bathing, toileting, grocery shopping, budgeting, doing all sorts of things just to help them in their daily life. I pass meds for all the ladies. I work from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., so I do that 2 times. That takes about probably an hour both times to get all of them their medication.
I'm part of a team that works in this house with 3 guys. We have to do almost everything for them, to a degree. But by the same token, too, we're still trying to teach them to do certain things. On my shift, which is 3rd shift, overnight, I work from 10:30 at night until 8:30 in the morning. My duties include general cleanup and preparing the meal for the next night. About 5:30 in the morning, that's when I start waking the guys up, getting them moving. Then I get them showered, clean their rooms, change the linen. By 7 o'clock, my partner comes in and she starts fixing breakfast.
You never know what you're going to come across in the mornings. I help get them ready for work, get them dressed, get their hygiene done, shaved, teeth brushed, dressed for work. The night staff's already here and they usually have things prepared for breakfast already. There's one that has to have a helmet on and she can't brush her teeth, she can't wash herself, she doesn't do anything without assistance. If the consumers are having a bad morning, it can be very distracting trying to drive them to work in the morning. Sometimes things get thrown in the van out of their lunch boxes or somebody's grabbing somebody's screaming obscenities. I get as much paperwork done as I can within that half an hour time I have, check emails, whatnot.
The first thing I want to do is I check documentation. I want to check to see, who's sick, who's here, who's gone, who has appointments.
I'm here usually about an hour before the clients get here, kind of prepare the activities for the day. We basically are here to give them a little bit better quality of life, to get them more involved with the community and their social skills and involved with other people as well. I think it was at least 3 weeks of training that I went through several different classes. We do a lot of social learning skills. They learn, and a lot of people don't think that they can.
I work with 15 adults with developmental disabilities. The guys start work at 8:45. I oversee the production that we do here in the workshop. I oversee what they're working on, how much they're doing.
I've been working in this field for 9 years and it's going on 10 years. What I do is I train them on a job. We get many different jobs. I train them and monitor them and make sure they do the work correctly. What I do at the end of the day is I'll count up all their work and I'll make out timesheets for them so they could get paid.
The individuals that I support are pretty much independent. They just may require some minor assistance. They may need prompting. Wanda is a pretty great gal. She's someone who has been through the system, and she has survived. She's a person with diabetes, so we have to really maintain her health at all times. She likes to test the waters every once in a while, but that's what everybody does.
I work with autistic children. Started off as a one-on-one. I moved on to be the teacher's assistant. Basically, we look at the children and see what their challenges are and try to teach them to fit in with the society.
My job is a support staff team member. From 9 to 3, I will be here and I will get her up and ready, give her medicines, just get going. First, I was scared. I was scared because I didn't know how to work with people who had disabilities. But when you get into the field, you don't see their disabilities.
I work with Nathan a couple times a week. We pretty much, in general, end up troubleshooting problems he's having at work, problems he's having with his family, problems he's having in his social life, and anything that comes up in his life that he thinks he needs to talk about. Nathan seems to encounter lots of little things in his life that he blows into big things, and between the two of us, we try to settle them down and try to work through it so that he can solve most of his problems with just some advice.
I'm like on call 24/7. Yes, I do have to give up some of my social life, but this is my job. I love my job.
I work with the children. I assist the foster parent. It's somewhat like giving them a break, so whatever they do, as far as maybe entertaining the children, taking them out into community, I really would call it just like a backup, like the second foster mom.
Guy's a huge asset to this department. He is just so into this job. He does everything from the trees, the lawn care, the snow removal, and the car wash when he's needed in the car wash. He likes to take charge of the situation and kind of say, I know what to do and I know how to do this. Going downtown is fun, not necessarily in the cold weather, but just kind of seeing the sights downtown. Go hang out, go take walks downtown, and just chat, just kind of hang out, just kind of do the regular thing.
I'm a live-in support staff, and my job mainly is to help Roger in his daily activities, his basic necessities. Sometimes we go out to dinner, and he'll make his own choice in what he does eat. We work together, and it's not so serious as work. I wouldn't call it work because we have a companionship, and we do laugh together. We tell jokes, just have a good time.
I feel like it's more than having just like an office job where you go in and it's the same thing every day. Like it's always different. It's always can be challenging.
You never know what you're gonna walk into, and that's what makes it interesting.
It's very challenging, but when they finally learn something to do that you've been trying to teach them for a long time, when the moment comes that they can show you that it like clicks in the head, that's the reward. That's what I love about my job.
It's kind of like my second home and my second family. You know, I have 4 children that I take care of during the day, and then I come to work and I have 7 adults that I get to spend time with and be friends with and help them have the best quality of life possible.
It is rewarding to come in and really know that I'm doing something for people. That's the kind of job that I like to do.
For being a young person, it kind of makes you grow up in life, makes you more responsible.
You get to help people out. They might learn to tie their shoe or get a drink of water on their own, and each day they go to a different level. They learn something new.
Kenny has a disability where he can't walk on his own, so you have to support him and walk with him. The desire that he will show, despite his disability, he can still get there.
It's a wonderful job. Before I got here, I never experienced anything like this. You know, this my first year in this field. It was kind of a shocker to me because I was never exposed to something like this.
Seeing them grow, seeing them do more, seeing them achieve higher standards of living, I get a good feeling just knowing that I've been a successful part of their life.
I love what I do. The clients, you become close to them and get to know them.
The most rewarding part of this job would be knowing Melissa, getting to know her and her family, and knowing how they watched her struggle and now she's doing better and that I've had a part of that. and I have like a great friend.
What you get out of this job, I feel, is you make a difference. You make a difference.
I get a sense of pride, and there's definitely a reward. No medals or ribbons or anything like that, but it's just kind of the sense of knowing that you're helping somebody out every day.
The rewards of knowing that you're helping a person who normally would be institutionalized, had this been over 25, 30 years ago, to be able to live as normal of a life as possible. I mean, who wants to spend their life in a small room with padded walls? I mean, these people are actually living the way you and I would want to live our lives. They're doing meaningful things. They're working in the community. They're being participants in the community.
I really love my job. I know it's not a great deal of money in it, but my satisfaction is no pretend. That's a great feeling when you walk and close the door and go home. I love that. And not a lot of people get that.
I have that feeling that I'm doing something good. I'm helping someone achieve an extra step in life.
Paul, he's subject to seizures. He wears that helmet because of his balance. He has very poor balance. Paul can be aggressive. There are times he will not be cooperative. So it requires a lot of tolerance and patience, especially when he starts to hit you, because he will knock your block off. So it's being aware of what his disabilities are, but also you have to be cautious of your own personal safety. Dealing with challenging behaviors is just a part of the job.
Without patience, you're not going to get very far. There's going to be a quick burnout rate for you because a lot of people come in thinking they're going to change everybody, and not everybody can be changed. You realize it's not about you at all. It's about the clients.
I don't think anyone wants to come to work and have their clients they work with yell at them or cry. Some of the ladies that I work with do have really extreme behaviors at times that they're just not fun to deal with.
When people get frustrated and they don't know what other way to express themselves, it might be screaming, it might be throwing something, it might be biting you, it might be just you sitting there talking to them, trying to help them calm down, but they're hitting you in the process. Sometimes it's because of communication deficits.
Could be either to get your attention or they're in distress.
Sometimes they do it because they're not feeling well and you don't know that, because they don't know how to relay it to you.
It will definitely test you on a daily basis, and I'm tested every day.
There's charts that I look at when I pass their meds that I check off every medication as I'm giving it to them. It's usually not stressful because we have nurses that help make it very routine and they do training with us. But at times, if there's some kind of mistake or there's someone maybe a shift before me made a mistake and let's say the medication is missing or something happens, it can be stressful then.
You just gotta understand that you're working with so many different people that don't have the capacity of being able to do the things that you can do, and I think that's a definite challenge. And not everybody knows how to approach somebody who doesn't know how to, tie their shoes or doesn't know how to eat on their own. Not everybody can do that. Some people might get a little, hesitant, like, oh, I don't know what to do or say to this person.
The hardest part for me is cleaning the guys when they're really covered with feces. I mean, that is the hardest part. Cleaning my kids, my grandkids is one thing. But when you're dealing with someone who is not family, it's very difficult.
It might sound like an easy process detailing a vehicle, but there are a lot of steps involved. And trying to be able to work with some of our individuals, working on those different tasks that are involved, the training that is involved, it does require some time and some patience.
I live in Lawrence with my fiance Damien, and we have quite a bit of problem getting care tenants for both of us, so that's a real problem. I'm the one in control. I hire, I fire. If they're not showing up, we give them a warning, and then if after that warning they still haven't come, we give them like a week's probation, and then after that we say that you're fired. Try to give them a week to shape up, but sometimes it doesn't always work.
I work with a number of folks that, as they've aged, they've developed other health-related issues, Alzheimer's being one. It is hard to see deteriorations.
The most difficult part about this job is if there's different behaviors going at the same time and you can't get to them all at once.
Clients that we have a lot of different needs, and a lot of times those needs are trying to be met at once. You learn to multitask, you learn to juggle. In my unit, I believe we have about 32 clients total. I have 8 clients. They all have different disabilities, and they're all needing many different things all at the same time.
It can get stressful at times, but you just work through that and go ahead and turn around and do a positive thing.
Can't be selfish. You got to realize that you're here every day, not for you. You're here to help them, throughout the day, just to make the smallest difference.
People who are interested in working in direct support with individuals need to be dependable. They need to be reliable. They need to have strengths that can get them through the day, because sometimes this job can be very, very challenging, and it can test your skills, it can test your nerves, and you got to be able to be strong through a lot of that.
If you don't have the patience for this, please do not attempt to come in this field. It can get to a person, it can get to them very easily. You have to have patience.
When chairs go flying, or somebody's throwing something to your head, or physically attacking you, you need to be able to stay calm. You need to be able to keep a face that says, this is not bothering me. You're not getting any satisfaction out of my reaction.
You must have a willing heart, to be willing to go beyond the job duties, because sometimes you really will have to.
First of all, I think I want somebody that really cares about people, that is a people person or likes people. I want a person with some sense of humor and who treats people with respect and is courteous, because that's how I would expect to treat them.
You have to always give them their dignity and respect them.
You have to be able to organize things very well. You have to be able to look ahead. What can this child get into when I'm asking this child to do a certain thing? So you have to sort of prevent that certain things can happen.
A lot of times they can't tell you what's wrong, so you have to do a lot of outside-the-box problem solving and things like that to kind of figure out what they're needing or they're wanting. Things aren't as obvious as they always seem.
The most important thing, I think, is somebody who has a strong work ethic, who takes their responsibilities very seriously, and that really enjoys building a relationship with someone. It's not a job to be taken lightly. It's not a job for everyone.
It's mandatory that we have first aid and CPR. I mean, you have to make sure that you can save their life if you have to, or be the first person there to care for them in case of an emergency. We have a wide variety of trainings that we do to make sure that everyone that's supported in the program is safe at all times.
Their jobs are not easy. I think that overall their jobs are undervalued, but I'm very proud of what they do day in and day out. It's not easy, but it's very important, and they do a great job.
It can get pretty isolated and kind of a lonely feeling when you go from house to house by yourself. You have nobody to bounce things off of, and you have to make a lot of judgment calls right there on the spot. A lot of places you do have people, a supervisor that you can talk to, but a lot of times these things you have to do on your own.
Some of the things that would not help the individuals that we serve are people who are dishonest, people who are unreliable, who don't show up when they're supposed to. That's very hurtful and painful to the individuals we serve, because if they have an appointment they need to be at and the person doesn't show up, then that leaves them in a position to have to reschedule an appointment, and with doctor's appointments that can take many months to get rescheduled.
I want to be able to see competence in that person and confidence, and I want to be able to see the compassion, and when you don't see those, that's when I really get nervous.
Most important would be caring about people and wanting to make a difference in somebody's life. It's not always fun. Not everybody wants to come into work and help someone take a bath or help someone go to the bathroom. You have to be able to come in and be willing to do those things and to put up with some behaviors that a lot of people I don't think could deal with.
They need to be trustworthy, and people who aren't trustworthy, there's not much that they can do to help, because there's a lot of security things and privacy and confidentiality issues that we deal with daily.
If you would have told me 5 years ago that this is what I was doing, I wouldn't have believed you. It's very rewarding knowing that you're making a difference in their lives.
I would recommend this work for someone who has patience, lots of patience.
It's a fun job. You get to be with someone and help them out, and that's like, you know, an awesome feeling.
My whole view of everything has changed pretty much since I started working here. The little menial things that you might get upset about during the day just roll right off your shoulder. I think I myself have become a more positive person. I don't let things bother me. You know, if something negative happens to me that I wasn't quite expecting, it's just you take it with a grain of salt.
It's a kind of job that you need to love. Don't do it because it's good hours.
You can't come in doing it for, you know, just for a paycheck. You have to really care about the clients.
If someone is here just for the paycheck, they're not going to last. They're not going to last.
Make sure you understand what you're getting into and know this about yourself within a short period of time before you get too involved, too burnt out, where people can be hurt by your leaving, because this is a program that the people become very dependent upon their staff, because for some that's the only family they have.
For new people that I know that have never done this and they've come in and I've seen staff come and go, you've got to be willing to jump in and do it. If you see that it needs to be done, don't expect somebody else to do it. It's everybody's responsibility.
You know, there'll be challenges along the way, but if you truly find enjoyment in it, then it'll be very fulfilling.
I'm a lot stronger than what I thought I was.
It can make you a better person, working in this field, helping people with disabilities.
You have to be willing to deal with challenges, very hard challenges. It's not going to be easy.
You've got to be a caring person, you know, willing to just accept the changes, whatever happens.
You gotta love it. You can't get rich doing it, but you gotta love it.